Hi, and welcome to the first of a series of short chats with artists, scholars, curators, and other arts professionals that we will be bringing to you virtually through the Frye Art Museum YouTube channel. My name is Negarra Kudumu, and I am the manager of public programs. And it's my very special pleasure to welcome our first guest for our first episode, Elisheba Johnson, who is an artist based here in Seattle, as well as co-founder of Wa Na Wari, located in the historic Central District of Seattle. Thank you so much for joining us, Elisheba. I'm so happy that you were able to do this. If you could just start us out by telling us a little bit about yourself, your artist practice, as well as Wa Na Wari.
Yeah, and thank you, Negarra, for inviting me to do this. And I'm a big fan of you and the Frye, so this has just been really awesome to be able to talk about my practice. So I guess I start by talking about my work very much in the sense that I didn't see myself as part of the art world. I thought it was for white folks, to be honest. And it wasn't until my senior year of high school that I was experimenting with collage and got introduced to Romare Bearden that I really understood that maybe there was a place for me in the art world and that culturally relevant art experiences are important. So as I went through college and then really started realizing that contemporary art has taken the place of philosophy, what philosophy used to do. So, most artists are working in the realm of ideas. And my father is a philosopher. I really felt like contemporary art or conceptual art was where I belonged. I'm a big fan of Yoko Ono, Joseph Beuys, Adrian Piper, artists like that. So I have a practice that is quite experimental. So I was super, I do all types of things from painting to performance, you name it. But really right now I focus on a public art practice. So I'm finishing up a project in Tacoma that's a permanent project in a very diverse neighborhood on East 64th Street, but also working on a public art master plan for Metro Rapid Ride that I'm finishing as well with a collaborator. And then I was supposed to have a show at the For Culture Art Gallery that is going to happen, but we don't know when now because of COVID. But my studio practice right now, I'm really interested in the lottery. And in particular, that show will be about the numbers game, which was started by Black folks. And I'm really interested in ways, it's actually even more pertinent now that Black folks are self-determined. And so how we had our own kind of system of being able to be upwardly mobile, right, and get our around finances, and looking at that as kind of this way of the unaffordability of Seattle. And I've been doing a lot of work around that. So it'll be this kind of merging of creating my own numbers game and some numbers books that will be really fun.
Oh, wonderful. That's amazing. So obviously we are in quarantine. We are dealing with this pandemic that is COVID-19. And so I just wanted to ask you to share some of the ways in which your personal practice, both within Wa Na Wari, but also as a solo artist, has transformed since we have been in this quarantine environment.
Yeah. And I totally forgot to talk about Wa Na Wari.
Please go. Please speak about Wa Na Wari.
Which I feel like is an extension of my public art practice. So me and three collaborators, Inye Wakoma, Jill Friedberg, and Rachel Kessler, started Wa Na Wari a year ago, very much as an art act of what does it look like to rent a historically Black-owned home in a historically Black neighborhood that is now gentrified. So Seattle is, we already know, almost like a test case for what extreme gentrification looks like. And in this neighborhood, at one time was 80% Black, is now less than 10% Black. What does it mean to take this fifth generation Black-owned home that is Inye's grandmother's home, rent that as a way of securing that home in their family and keeping it in the family, but then giving it back to the Black community as a Black arts and cultural center. So we always show visual artists, local, regional, and national at the same time. And then we have music, dance, performance, and we're obviously open for the community to come and propose whatever types of ideas. So they've done potlucks, readings, fashion shows, you name it. yoga, and spiritual services, all types of stuff. And it's been quite weird to be closed. One of my really good friends was so sweet. She said, I just want to apologize that you have this space all about belonging and you are closed. And I was like, that's a perfect way to put it. But we are transitioning. We believe that it's still our mission to serve the Black people of the Northwest through Black arts and culture, whether or not we are physically open in a space. So that has been an opportunity for me to kind of look at Black artists nationally that I wouldn't be able to bring here to do work, to actually see about experimenting with them. So one artist in particular, last Friday, we had Autumn Knight, who's a Black performance artist, and we partnered with On the Boards. We've partnered with them before. So she did a 30-minute experimental Zoom performance that was super fun. She was changing people's Zoom names and calling on people, which is part of her practice. And I wouldn't have thought about doing that, if it wasn't because of COVID. And then working with Sharita Town, who's in Portland. She's got a project with some collaborators called Weird Al and Capro, which is like a post-colonial karaoke experience. And so that will be happening in a couple weeks. So really, like I said, I've been really thinking about what makes sense online and really thinking about the medium. I took a minute, like I know a lot of people jump to put stuff online very quickly, and I took some time to really think about what isn't in the space, what are people not offering, what does our community kind of need.
Gotcha. I'm happy to hear that. That's continuity, even in these times of great difficulty, is important. So I'm happy to hear about the ways in which you're pushing forward. To the question that I was asking previously, how has your practice changed since the onset of this quarantine due to COVID-19?
Yeah. Girl, I don't know. I'm just going to keep it real. Like, I keep thinking, I need to paint. And then I'm like, is the art store open? And then I like to paint on very creative surfaces. But then I'm like, is the hardware store open? Or, I really want to go to Goodwill. That's not, I think the hardware store is open. So I think I've been feeling kind of in a rut, to be honest, which I've been talking to artists that I'm working with, and they're feeling the same way. There's this collective grieving that we're in. And then everybody's kind of like, make new work. And then you're like, but I just want to drink wine and go to bed. So, like I said, I still like the work I was telling you about that will be at the For Culture Gallery. Like I'm exploring ways to start doing that, even though I don't know when that work's going to happen. But like I said, I think it's even more pertinent now that we go into an economic collapse, that we think about the ways that Black people were always self-sufficient. So I think just kind of resting on that and really going into research. Research is a big part of my practice, and finding space to read and study. I think that's going to be good for me too. But I wish it was more glamorous. I wish I could tell you, like, I was like painting all day.
I hear you. It's been a challenge all around. Just to sort of expand on that question, what are you hearing from your fellow artists and from arts organizations that you're engaging with? And what are they sort of thinking about or projecting may be the post-pandemic reality where the art world is concerned, whether it's locally here in Seattle, regionally, or nationwide?
Yeah, I mean, it's a scary time. I'm not going to sugarcoat that for the field. But, and I'm going to quote Sharita Town on this. She talks a lot about composting, right? And taking what's good and letting everything else kind of die. And I think we're going to have to compost the whole arts ecosystem. Because, I mean, art fairs are not able to happen. And then people are losing their jobs. So I don't know, even if an art fair comes back in 6 months, if somebody's going to be down to go buy a bunch of work. And that was already a system that was failing anyway, as you know. So I think galleries will probably be in some type of in-between space. I think we're gonna be okay as a gallery. Museums are probably have enough foundation. They'll have to kind of lay people off, but they'll be able to stay open, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But there's local arts organizations where mayors are recommending elimination of the entire office. Philadelphia Arts Office is one to, fill the budget gap. And so I feel like in this time, we need to not be in this binary that we're always in of like social services versus arts. I'd love for it to be like arts is actually a healing thing that we need for the essence of life. Like art has saved my life so many different times. So I'll be advocating on local and state levels for arts funding to remain where it is, or maybe there'd be cuts but not eliminated. I mean, everybody's gonna have to take cuts all around. But I also, like I said, I'm seeing really cool stuff. There was a dance performance somebody did, I saw in A Stranger, where people drove up in their cars and experienced it. And like I said, we did this experimental thing on Zoom, and I think people are now starting to, now that quarantine's been 3 months, your creativity is going to come anyway, and there's really interesting things that are popping up, drive-in concerts and stuff like that. So I'm actually excited about the creativity of our peers and what we're going to keep doing. I'm not going to be able to do programming in the same way, but that's actually building my muscle in a really good way as a curator.
Wonderful. Yeah, the inevitable change. I like that metaphor that you used with the compost. It's like it's time to put it into the earth and see what we can pull back out of it that is not extractive and hopefully more harmonious and balanced. And so I'm happy to hear you say that. Just one last question. Please share with people what it is that you have coming up, how people can follow your work and the work of Wa Na Wari as well.
Yeah. Let's see. Every Saturday until the end of June at Wa Na Wari, we're doing a local hip hop history series. So it's 2 local DJs and then there's 2 commentators. That's every Saturday at 7. You can find that on our Wa Na Wari YouTube page. But also you can just follow Wa Na Wari on Instagram, Facebook, or go to our website, wanawari.org, and sign up for our email list. Mm-hmm. So that's been an incredible series that Inye Wakoma has been leading with Langston Performing Arts. Langston is a Black performing arts organization located in Langston Hughes Performing Arts Institute. So it's with Langston, the Performing Arts organization. Like I said, we're going to be doing a performance with Weird Al and Capro. That's going to be really exciting. It's karaoke, so people will be able to jump in and do that. And we have some more interesting stuff that is not finalized yet, but it's coming. So join our email list. We have lots, like I said, we're going to be working with Ayanna Evans out of New York and some other Portland-based artists to bring programming.
Awesome. This is great. Thank you so much, Elisheba. We will be sure to include all of the relevant information when we post this to the Frye YouTube channel. And please stay tuned, everybody, for upcoming episodes of these art chats. Thank you again, Elisheba. Talk soon.